And the Ghana Mental Health Authority is urging Parliament to expedite action on the passage of a legislative instrument for implementation of the mental health law. Officials say government must declare suicide as a national disaster which can be overcome if it is accorded attention similar to the recent gas explosion at Atomic Junction in Accra. Mental health physician Professor Vincent Ejapong was speaking at the 7th Inter-University Debate on Mental Health in Kumasi. Nana Sensuminta has more in this report.
The Intermediate School Public Speaking Competition was among the 4 state universities in the country: Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, and University for Development Studies. Speakers were unanimous in the appeal for legislative instrument. Professor Ejapong leads the advocacy.
There are plans in advance by the Mental Health Authority to organize similar workshops for parliamentarians. I know a number of them are part of advocacy groups and are actively in support of decriminalizing suicide. I think what needs to be done is it would be good if the President and the Cabinet prioritize this. You saw what happened when 7 people died with a gas explosion at the Atomic Junction. Cabinet convened immediately. They rolled out a series of steps, to make sure something like that does not happen again. I think suicide is also deserving of the same urgency. Cabinet needs to convene and come out with similar guidelines to support and to help people who are in difficulty.
So we want government to treat it as a disaster, the way that they treat disasters.
It's a disaster. It's a national disaster, absolutely.
Head of Psychiatry at Konfona Teaching Hospital, Dr. Ruth Uswanchi, bemoans attempt to criminalize persons who attempt suicide rather increase the act.
A lot of noise about it, and indeed the British, who were the first people to hand this law over to us, have decriminalized suicide since early 1960s. And so why are we still following in their steps? In any case, people who really attempt suicide have passed the stage of fear of death. Why would they fear being put in jail? So decriminalizing suicide will not really deter anybody. From Kumasi here, we have gotten some statistics that people who are put in jail on account of attempting suicide try in jail 3 to 5 times. So at the end of the day, you don't deter them. They still want to die anyway. So why don't we rather put measures in place, find out why they wanted to die first of all, and then help them? For our information, 90%, almost 90% of people who attempt suicide have underlying mental conditions. And if we see attempted suicide as an illness, we rather seek help for them than to rather put them in jail.
Nana Sensumensa reporting for Joy News.
You're still watching News Desk on Joy News and Multi TV. Now we'll take you to see the arrival of the president of La Côte d'Ivoire. Now this is scheduled to happen this morning. Not immediately. We are still waiting on that to happen. Now, official word from officials is that this visit is in return for the visit that President Akufo-Addo paid Mr. Ouattara in May. However, key among the issues which will be discussed is the formation of a joint commission to work out the verdict of the International Tribunal of the Law of the Sea last month. So my colleague Latif Idris is standing by to tell us the latest with regards to that visit. Latif, if you can hear me, when is the Ivorian president scheduled to arrive? Well, Latif, if you can hear me, I was asking, when is Mr. Ouattara expected to arrive? Well, we'll be going to Latif Idris later in the day, unfortunately. We understand he's on the line now. Latif, can you hear me? What's the latest where you are now? Well, we are finding it difficult to reach Latif Idris, but like I said, President Alassane Ouattara will be arriving in the nation this morning. Some roads have been blocked as a result of his visit. Latif Idris is on the line now. Let's try and get a word with him. Latif, if you can hear me, when is Mr. Ouattara expected to arrive?
Well, Daniel, official information we are getting indicates that the president of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, is expected to touch down here at exactly 11 this morning. And so, as we speak, the protocol, everything is set. The red carpet has been laid, and we are all awaiting the arrival of the president of Cote d'Ivoire, who will be met here at the launch by President Akufo-Addo. Daniel.
Now, we already know that one of the major issues that, of course, they would have to discuss will be the ACLOS ruling that was passed just a few weeks ago. Apart from that, do we know of any other item on the agenda?
Yeah, the president, I'm talking about President Akufo-Addo, in a statement issued by the Flagstaff House, indicates that Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana will be looking at setting up a strategic partnership. It will go beyond just the ICLOS ruling, and so we're going to see a more closer tie between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. We already have good relationship, with both countries. But what President Akufo-Addo seeks to do today and tomorrow is to establish a stronger partnership between both countries. And so, yes, the ICLOS ruling will be one of the major issues to be discussed today. But then beyond that, other, strategic partnership issues would also come up here for discussion. And the President, Akufo-Addo, hopes that they're going to sign strong agreements, between both countries to make, for the economic activities that the two countries have in recent history. Daniel.
Right. Finally, Latif, on your way there, we know some roads were blocked to allow for the arrival of Mr. Ouattara. Has that caused any inconvenience in town?
Not major traffic, Daniel. We've had experiences as far as the closure of roads are concerned. Sometimes the traffic situation is beyond belief. This time around, going through town, you wouldn't experience that much of a traffic. I do not know if it is the area or the route we use that is why we didn't experience that traffic situation. But I can report for sure where we used there was nothing like massive traffic situation compared to, past experiences, Daniel.
Right. Thank you very much, Latif Idris. We'll be coming back to you when Mr. Ouattara arrives. He is our man on the ground there. And be sure to stay tuned to Joy News for the latest on the arrival of Alassane Ouattara.